What is up, guys? Welcome to Speak True Sports, where we just discuss, NBA, NFL, other sports, etc., and we just speak our mind about some certain topics that have been going around in these organizations. My name is Sparsh, and today we are going to be talking about some Minnesota news, and it's actually kind of funny because, you know, when it comes to Minnesota, at least basketball-wise, we don't really get much news because Minnesota, let's be honest here, it's not really the most attractive destination for these basketball players. And when you see news happen, it's generally something that's actually kind of shocking. Like the biggest news that happened a while back, the Jimmy Butler trade, that was pretty big, especially for Minnesota. But now we're seeing something pretty interesting. We're seeing a tweet by Shams Charania, insider of The Athletic, and this happened around September 22nd. So just going to quote the tweet here. So just in, the Minnesota Timberwolves are parting ways with President of Basketball Operations Gersson Rosas, sources tell me, and John Krasinski. This is kind of surprising. When you're looking at this tweet from face value, you're like, okay, what is going on here? Why are they firing, President of Basketball Operations at this time of year, especially, with training camp coming right around the corner. And this is not really a good move to sort of, ensure stability. This is one of the moves that would cause instability, actually. And we saw Kat tweet this, and the tweet is not here, but Kat tweeted in response to this, WTF ... So we saw that Kat was not really so happy about this decision that was made recently. And as a result of this, Sachin Gupta is the guy that's going to be replacing Gersson Rosas. And I was just sort of taking some time to, go around, looking at some other videos, listening to some podcasts, reading some Minnesota articles about this situation. And once I start to dig deeper, I can understand why this firing was done. There was a sighting of Gersson Rosas having an affair with allegedly VP Communications Bree Bauer, and Bree Bauer is also one of the members of the Timberwolves organization, and it's rumored that she's also been fired as well. And there was also some other reports about the workplace, at least in the front office, being very toxic. So this move, when you look at it, especially with the president of basketball operations getting caught in a scandalous affair like this, right? This is something that definitely needs to be sort of taken care of before it causes any other drama within the front office. When it comes to sort of Minnesota, right? You're going to want to do everything you can to sort of keep the players happy. And when you see that tweet by Kat responding WTF, this is kind of concerning because, Kat, we're not really sure what Kat's relationship was like with him. But when you see sort of the situation that Minnesota has themselves in, after that time where they got Jimmy Butler, and they were definitely like playoff contenders at that time, they fall a bit below to the 8th spot, while Jimmy Butler was out with that knee injury, but they still made it to the playoffs. And history knows that after that playoff loss, Jimmy Butler went to Philly right after, and we all know what happened from there, right? Minnesota wasn't really able to bounce back from that. But with their recent moves in the draft, drafting Anthony Edwards, who many people could say was the number one pick in the draft, and having D'Angelo Russell, having Kat, those three guys, right? You got a pretty solid core going around, and especially if D'Angelo Russell can stay healthy, and if he can play more than 60 games in a season, then this is definitely something that could help Minnesota get in that playoff contention. And I think at most their ceiling is definitely fighting for a play-in spot. They could definitely get in there. And you got to do everything you can to keep Kat happy, because when you see news like this, right, and Kat is entering his 7th year for the Minnesota Timberwolves, I'm just going to be straight up honest with you. If you really want to make your team better, you're not going to be getting any luck with free agency. I'm going to be honest here. Their moves in free agency, one of the bigger moves really that happened was them getting Patrick Beverley in a trade. That's really about it, actually. Minnesota hasn't really been able to do anything since. And even before that, because, let's be honest, they're just not a popular basketball destination. And you got to do everything you can to keep your players and staff happy, right? And when you got this sort of drama happening in the front office, especially at that top position, you're going to have to make a move and let him go. Now, something that I was also just sort of looking around in the YouTube comments, I found something interesting about, Daryl Morey's relationship with Gersson Rosas. And there was some reports, I don't remember the sources, unfortunately, but there were some reports that Gersson Rosas didn't really have a great relationship with Daryl Morey. It was more so Daryl Morey did not really like Gersson Rosas. And this was sort of dating back to the Houston days. And when you see this sort of report, there is still some sort of confidence that a Ben Simmons trade could be on the table. Now, I know we've been sort of talking about Ben Simmons a lot in this on this channel, and we're definitely going to be talking more about him later as his situation with Philly is evolving, especially as we're nearing the training camp. But, if you're Sachin Gupta and you see Cat in response to this firing, you're going to want to sort of start establishing a good relationship with him and try to do what you can to make him happy. And if you can find some sort of way to get a trade going with Minnesota and Philly and get Ben Simmons possibly on the roster, you're going to add some defensive identity to that team, because that core is solid offensively. Cat, Anthony Edwards, D'Angelo Russell, no doubt about that. Right? Especially Cat, one of the most talented players in the NBA. But defensively, they're really missing something. Right? Adding Patrick Beverley is a good touch, but if you can add Ben Simmons, that can really help elevate this team a bit further, right? And that could definitely increase their chances of maybe even sneaking into a play-in spot or possibly getting the 7th seed if things go well. And, if D'Angelo's health is also good for that entire season, right? And I know we slander Ben Simmons a lot in other episodes, but if we're going to be honest here, he's a good defender, all NBA level defender, right? You can't sneeze at that. That is some great defense that could really help elevate this team forward and also keep Karl-Anthony Towns happy and make sure that he stays in Minnesota for the long term to come. Anyways, so what are your guys' thoughts about this? Do you think that Minnesota will be able to make some moves going forward from this recent firing? Do you think that Sachin Gupta will also maintain a long-term role from this? Do you think Cat is going to be happy? And do you think he actually might not be and might want to request a trade instead? Let us know in the comment section below. And like I said in the beginning, make sure to leave a like. And like I said again, comment and subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. And make sure to press the bell for push notifications. That way you're always sort of up to date with our content, and also makes us eager to upload stuff for you guys as well. Anyways, this is Sparsh from Speak True Sports, and I'm signing out. Take it easy, stay safe, and stay awesome.